from DAV by Mogappair. We are very happy to be here today. We will now present our program Learning Life Values in DAV. Very values that provide balance and holistic outdoors to personal development. Let us hear how a carpenter, very principles, can enact essential life skills. Empathy and compassion. Vasudeva Kudumbakam, meaning the world is one family, inspires compassion and empathy, caring for others and practicing kindness as well as extending love beyond family and friends to all of humanity and nature. Mogappair Pelanti Vidya Mogappair Mahanti Nadya Mogappair Tuhanti Gaya Mogappair Idam Shariram, which means this body is meant for serving others, helping someone who needs even small ways, like offering a smile, word of encouragement, or answering out a task, or embodies Gopalapuram. Shravana and Manana highlight the importance of attentive listening and reflection. Mauna is mindful silence, which allows time to think carefully before responding. It also encourages reflection, enhancing the quality of the words we do choose to share. Effective communication is built on respect, patience, and understanding, and they are the fundamental in the Vedic tradition. Respect and love for Bharat. Janani Janmabhoomi Swarpadapi Garyasi, meaning mother and motherland are superior than heaven. Let us respect our countries and use our knowledge for country's development. Work sincerely and value our culture. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask not you can do for your country. Jai Hind. Patience and perseverance. Dhairya sarvatra sadhana. Patience is a tool for success in all endeavors, and patience gives immense opportunity given to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rishika ji, for the beautiful bhajan. Now moving forward, we will have a 10-minute guided meditation session. So I request everybody to put their phones on silent. This meditation
वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् तमेव विदित्वातिमृत्युमेति न अन्यपन्था विद्यते यनाय. Namaste to all. So the outset, let me once again congratulate on the wonderful program by the Nursery students in DAV Boys Mogappair, and a big thanks to the acharyas who have prepared the students to come here today and perform. The real effort, I must say, is of the acharyas, isn't it? The students, they've been motivated, and also the parents who are here today in large numbers to inspire their kids to provide the back-end support for them to come and perform over here. Today, as part of our discussion, I'll pick up the clue from the upcoming festival. Which is the festival? Pongal. How many days is this festival celebrated for? 4 days, isn't it? What is the first day? Second day? Third day? Fourth day? So third day, what do we celebrate once again? Why did we, if you have to celebrate, and what's the significance, right, of this Mata Pongal? What do we do on that day? Huh? We honor the cows. We honor the broader, I must say, the broader animals, right? Who support us in different ways, isn't it? But if you go from here, if you look at nowadays, you go on the roads and you can see on the roadside what? You can see beef stalls, isn't it? You can see all over in multiple places, right? The children also in the program now, in their song, they had a sentence: treat animals kindly, isn't it? Right? But what are we actually doing if you think about it? Are we really treating them kindly? One more Pongal will come and go, right? Another 4 days of holiday. Government has included 1 or 2 more days more. So it's a mini vacation for everyone, isn't it? But there's a reason why the Shastras reminded us that celebrate these days. It's to give us this message again that you need to be, we celebrate this particular day as Mata Pongal so that it reminds us that we need to be kind towards the animals. That's the broader message that we need to drive home. Today, many of you are young parents over here, isn't it? You are determining the diet of your children. What they eat, yes or no? Yes. Today it's in your hands. You are thinking about it. First what you follow and then what you get your children to follow. So let's go back and understand this broader concept of vegetarianism. Why? Because this is the biggest source of animal cruelty. Yes or no? The largest number of animals are killed due to food, for food. There are other reasons as well, right? You have for testing, you have for entertainment, you have for fur, right? Your leather bags, you have for multiple other reasons. But the single most reason is for food. Can you imagine how many animals are killed for food every year across the world? One rough number. Across the world, how many animals are killed for food every year? Millions? What could the number be? What's the human population on the earth? About? India population is 120 crores. 120, 130 crores now they say. Human population about 800 crores. So every year, for food, there are 15,000 crore animals. How much? 15,000 crore. Right? That's the kind of animals, birds included, right? Killed for food every year. Right? If you compute every minute, that will go in lakhs. So many animals that we kill for food is something that needs to raise our conscience. You would agree that the way we love our little ones, we love our children, do you agree the same with animals also love the little beings? Have you seen the animals also, the love and affection that they bestow on their little ones? Have you seen that? Right? It is the same. They have the same feeling of love, the same feeling of the same emotions, right? And the color of their blood is also red. They are no different from, absolutely no different from us. If you think about the cruelty towards animals, let me take the example of the most consumed animal or bird. Which one is that? Hen, isn't it? The most consumed. If you the hens are in two broad categories. One is what they call the broilers, and other is what they call the layers. What are the broilers? Broilers are killed for their meat, and layers are for they are reared for the eggs. How long do you think these birds live? This hen, what is the lifespan of a hen? Your and my lifespan? 60, 70, 80, 90 years. Right? What is the lifespan of a bird? How many years? Ideally to live for about 6 years. About 6 years. Right? When this bird or the broiler is killed for food, how old is it generally? It's only about 4 months. Only about 4 months. But it looks quite grown. It looks quite grown. Why is that so? Because it is force-fed food. Day in and day out. Day and night. Those birds eat in the night? The answer is actually no. These birds don't eat in the night. But what do? They give them hormone injections so that they feel more and more hungry. They are even as this evening, the lights are put on, bright lights, so that the bird thinks it is still daytime. Right? And they are made to eat more and more and more. Imagine a child being really obese. Really obese because just keeps eating and eating and eating. Do the bones also grow in the same way? No. What only grows is the flesh. Because we are only interested in the flesh. The chicken is sold by the weight. The weight of the flesh around the thighs and the chest. It's only that part of the bird that is cut and that is sold by weight, which you and I buy. You go to the supermarket, everything looks very neatly packed, isn't it? It's nicely refrigerated. But we don't realize the pain and the agony that the bird goes through at the back end. Have you seen how these birds are transported sometimes? How are they kept? How are they kept? Have you seen those vans? Right? And you have cages. In a cage of this size, how many birds will be there roughly? 5 or 6. Completely stuffed. How are the cages kept? One on top of the other, isn't it? Where will their droppings fall? Where will their waste fall? On the other. Take this particular hall. We close all the exit doors and we say for the next 1 week, we all have to stay only over here. What will happen? They will get really frustrated, isn't it? Fights will happen or not? Right? Space, right? We will be extremely suffocating. We'll find it really difficult, right? And we may also, as I mentioned, in fights may happen. When these birds are kept this way, in such cramped spaces, for days together, do you think they will also fight? Yes, isn't it? They will also fight. They will fight with what? They have beaks. Isn't it? They have beaks and claws. And that's why the moment these chicks are born, in the first 1 week, we do what is called de-beaking. De-beaking is the beaks are just cut. The simple machine, the bird is just inserted the beak and the beak is cut. So that these birds cannot so-called fight with each other. This kind of animal cruelty that goes on is absolutely unimaginable. We talk about what Hitler did to the Jews. We talk about what ISIS did in Syria. Isn't it? We shudder to think what must be happening in different parts of both Gaza, Israel, how human beings are tortured, isn't it? These are also concentration camps. All around us, right? They are no less than concentration camps. So that, my dear audience, is one key reason. The foremost reason as to why we need to rethink that about how we need to be kind to animals. The first mantra of Yajurveda, first chapter, first mantra of Yajurveda says, Adhanya Yajamanasya Pashun Pahi. It gives clear indication to us humans that these animals are not to be slaughtered. Right? We human beings and animals, there's no great difference. Except what? Except that we have better intelligence. Yes or no? We have better intellect, right? Which evolves with knowledge. Animals are also, by the way, they also have intellect. Animals also have intellect, yes or no? Right? Imagine the bird that is able to build a nest. Isn't that an engineering marvel? A bird being able to build a nest, right? That is able to sustain storms, able to sustain rain, doesn't fall down, right? Isn't that an engineering marvel? Yes, it is. Right? It is an engineering marvel. You and I cannot do it. Right? The birds have natural instinct. We have intellect that evolves with knowledge. That's the only difference. We take care of little ones. They may not be really intelligent. We take care of elderly people. They may be little senile. We take care of people with autism. We take care of people with different challenges. We treat them as our own. The question leads to, why not the animals? That's one key reason. The second reason, think about it. Today, if we all move from a vegetarian diet to a non-vegetarian diet, it's absolutely unsustainable. It is unsustainable. Why do I say so? How much water do you think you use for everyday needs? How much water do you use for everyday needs? For baking, drinking, cooking, washing clothes, you use about 150 liters of water. How much? 150 liters of water. How much water is required to produce 1 kilo of banana? 1 kilo of banana. How much water do you think it costs? How much water is required? You need about 790 liters of water. How much? 790 liters of water. How much water do you think is required for 1 kilo of chicken meat? For 1 kilo of chicken meat, how many liters of water? You will need about 4,300 liters of water. How much? 4,300 300 liters of water. For 1 kilo of beef, right, you need about 15,000 liters of water. 15,000 liters of water. Why do you need so much of water more? For example, for banana I said 790 liters. For chicken meat is about 4,300 liters of water. Why do you think so? Why do you think you need so much more water compared to banana? Any guess? Why do you think so? The bird needs to eat food grains or not? The bird needs to eat food grains. If you get 1 kilo of chicken meat, the bird needs to eat 4.5 kilograms of food grains to produce 1 kilo of meat. To produce that 4.5 kilograms of food grains, don't you need water? Isn't it? You need enormous amount of water. Right? So the amount of water and land for the 4.5 kilograms of food grains, you once again need land. Right? The amount of natural resources that we need, right, is way too high in a meat-based diet. And my dear audience, today a populous country like India, what is our per capita consumption of meat? It's about 3.2 kilograms per head. How much is it? 3.2 kilograms per head. Because even today, about 29% of Indians are still vegetarians. How much? How many? 29% of Indians. But within this as well, do you think there will be a huge difference within India? Yes. Right? Rajasthan, for example, is 75% vegetarian. Tamil Nadu will be at Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh are at 75%, 60% vegetarianism. Whereas the Tamil Nadu is at 2.3%. Is that 2.3%? Kerala is even lower. Right? So now, our per capita meat consumption of a country like India is about 3.2 kilograms. What do you think is the per capita consumption in US? It's about 90 kilograms per head. If India is to move from 3.2 to further up and up and up, we will have a serious food challenge in this country. It's impossible for us with our kind of population to even think about going down that path for too long. Many of you as young parents must be thinking, my kid needs proteins, isn't it? So if you think about it, that my child needs protein, right? Vegetarian diet, will it really suffice or not? Some of you have those doubts? Yes, in your mind? Tell me one of the most famous Indian sports person. Virat Kohli. Yeah, Virat Kohli is a vegetarian since 2020, and he wrote in his social media post saying that ever since I turned vegetarian, I feel far more healthier. I feel far more power. Right? I feel far more alert than I was ever. Have you heard about Carl Lewis? He was a 9-time Olympic medalist, gold, 9 times. Always a vegetarian. Have you heard about who is the very famous tennis star now? Djokovic, right? What's his name?
Djokovic.
Huh? Yes. He is a vegetarian. He has won 24 times Grand Slam titles. About 10 times he has won the Australian Open. He is a vegetarian. Right? He has also indeed produced a documentary called The Game Changers, where one Mr. Hamilton who is a 7 times, he's a world champion in Formula 1 driving in Britain. There are enough and more such examples of sports persons who have been vegetarians. Anil Kumble, vegetarian. Sushil Kumar, wrestler, vegetarian. Vishwanathan Anand, vegetarian. So there's a myth around that if you don't follow vegetarian, if you follow only a plant-based diet, you will not get enough proteins. Right? It is actually false. Whether you look at sports persons, you look at intellectuals, right? Mahatma Gandhi, Abdul Kalam, Narendra Modi, George Bernard Shaw, Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs, right? They are all vegetarians. George Bernard Shaw wrote, he said, if human beings from different planet, some people have quoted UFOs, etc., right? If beings from different planet were to come to this particular earth, and if they are superior to us human beings, the way we are superior to animals, will we be willing to concede our rights to them? The answer is no, isn't it? We would fight it out. Right? So, these few key reasons. One was animal cruelty, use of natural resources, amount of water and land, right, that is available around us. Right? Also, this myth around, in terms of that it doesn't give you enough protein, right, is something that we may need to think about. These festivals are there for us to remind us of our duties, remind us about dharma, remind us about the righteous path for us to follow. That's the true essence in which we can celebrate this upcoming moment. I will stop I'll stop here. Maybe if you have one or two questions, I know it's a sensitive topic. I can take a couple of questions and then we will end today's session. Otherwise, I'll also be available post the session over here. If you have any questions, any queries, you can please, you can come and check. But if you wish to ask me questions now, please go ahead. Some key questions generally are: does the plant have life? And isn't there cruelty there? What about milk? Isn't it? Isn't there cruelty there? What about the food chain, the food cycle? Wouldn't this be broken, right? If we stop eating animals? These are some of the common questions that many of us have. Do you want me to cover these 2-3 answers very quickly? Shall I cover it? So first question, won't the food chain be broken? Won't the food chain be broken? So my counter question to you is that in China they eat cats. In China people eat cats. In India do we eat cats? No. Has the population of cats exploded in India? No. Isn't it? Right? In China they also eat dogs. Over here we don't eat dogs. Has the population exploded? The answer is no. Right? I've got to check that under 5-7 minutes. Okay, I'll finish. The answer is no. Okay. This food chain, remember, today, be it this hens, be it the goats, right, that we tend to eat, all of them, life is infused into them. You have these places where all these birds, life is literally infused into them. You stop eating them, you will stop having this artificial poultry centers, right? Their population will manage, will get managed, right? The way cats and dogs population has not exploded in this country, similarly their population will also not explode. The nature has its own way to take care of itself. Okay, it will not explode. So that's the first question. Second question is that don't plants have life? Right? Isn't there cruelty when you have plants as well? So my humble response to this is as follows. Do plants have life? The answer is yes. Plants also have life. Right? There are two aspects. One, we spoke about animal cruelty. Now, to experience pain, to experience physical pain, you need a nervous system. You need a nervous system. Plants don't have a nervous system. Right? That's one sub-point. The other sub-point, there could still be some himsa in that. Right? But if you have an animal-based diet, then aren't you killing more number of plants? We just discussed some time back. 4.5 kilograms of food grains for 1 kilo of chicken meat. For beef, 20 kilograms for getting 1 kilo of beef. Right? Think about it, even our own weight. I could be weighing say 70 or 80 kgs. I consume about 1.2 kilograms of food every single day. In my life, I must have consumed tons of food till now. Right? So, if you were to look at this logic, that in killing of plants as well, isn't there some element of cruelty because they have life? The answer is yes, they do have life, but they don't have a nervous system. And B, anyways, for a meat-based diet, you need to kill even more number of plants. Okay? That's the second thing. The question on milk, right? So as far as milk is concerned, it's true that the way that there is also a lot of cruelty in the way milk is, the cattle is today kept in many places. I would not say all places. As far as Shastras are concerned, as far as Dharma is concerned, right? Cattle or cow is being treated as a family member. Yes or no? In Shastras, how is cattle treated? Like a family member. You are supposed to take care of the cattle right till its end. And that's why there are Goshalas also. Have you heard about Goshalas? Right? So either cattle used to be kept at its where it used to be, right, to be taken care of until the end. Right? But when this became less and less prevalent, right, the way old age homes are open today, Goshalas were also open. Indeed, Mahesh Vidyanand Saraswati, the founder of the Arya Samaj, opened the world's first Goshala in late 1800s. Right? In Haryana. So Goshalas were then created as the old age homes wherein the cattle needs to be taken care of like a family member. The Shastras clearly say that today a little one, a calf, right, cannot have milk beyond, the cattle has 4 teats, isn't it? Beyond 1 or 2 teats. About 25 to 50% of milk is what the calf can have. The balanced milk is definitely available for us humans. And this milk and its associated products, this cattle is humans' pharmacy. Today, allopathy is just about 200 years old. Right? You have all these large companies wherein medicines are prepared. That cattle is supposed to be the pharmacy for us humans. In the form of milk, form of ghee, form of gomutra, form of cow dung. Right? That's how we need to, and that's why the Shastra said that cows had to be taken care of like family members, and they were a symbol of wealth in the older times. Isn't it? Right? So that's the question on cattle. As far as today's question is concerned, yes, animal cruelty with regard to milk is also prevalent. Right? From that perspective, if you don't want to have milk, that's absolutely fine. But if you can get the right source and have milk, that is always preferable and better. Right? Over here we have one of our members, Raj Kishorji, who takes care of a cattle farm just near the express avenue. His daughter only had gets at the bhajan today, right? So I'm sure over there, animal cruelty regard to milk is less or very minimum, right? So we need to look for the right sources for milk. Any other question? What do you have? You have a question, sir? Yes.
Biomagnification.
Yes. There is also a question of biomagnification, you are right. Because when you have, it's a good point that you mentioned, sir, because when you have, indeed there's a study conducted in Japan in 1960s, wherein, see what these animals eat, right, what they eat, then slowly gets biomagnified and also gets into human system. And some of this also quite harmful for health.
The number of peacocks will keep on increases. It affects the farmers drastically. So what will be the solution for the number of peacocks keep on increases? I feel the cat and dogs are not going to be affecting, but the peacock affects. The effect is too large extent nowadays.
So sir's question is that how will peacocks, right, their numbers goes up and they definitely affect the farming community. How will that, how do you address that problem?
Because of the IPC, we should not harm the peacock. The number of peacocks when I was kid is not there in my village. Now, at least 200 peacocks is there. It definitely destroy the fields.
So sir's point is with regard to peacocks, as to how the peacocks, number of peacocks grow and then they will destroy the fields. So I will need to give it some more thought. I don't think I have a very clear answer to it right now. But yes, wherever there is really a problem that gets created because of the animals, for example, a mosquito. Take a mosquito, right? So mosquito, what do? Right? A mosquito, because it directly harms you. Because it directly harms you, either you put a mosquito net, but if the mosquito is right there and is biting you and there's no other option, you do kill it. Right? Remember something, dharma. Dharma is not binary. Dharma is not 0 or 1. Dharma is in between. We have to see where it's absolutely necessary. We need to look at from a certain perspective. Right? But to the extent possible, we need to be kind towards the animals. Yeah. But where it is not possible, I understand your perspective. So I will directly answer the question from a mosquito's perspective. Okay. Fine. We'll end the session here. The prasadam is ready. So thank you so much. If you still have a couple questions, I'll be around. We can definitely come.